Hi everyone. I had an absolutely amazing dialogue while I was in the pool that I want to share with you. The man I was talking to was blind. He was in the pool during the family swim with his very young daughter and also his driver and helper. It was amazing watching this man play catch with his daughter. He wouldn't always catch the ball because she was young and having fun with him, but he had developed the same skill that bats use. It's called echolocation. Basically, he makes a clicking sound and he can orient himself in space using the bouncing off the walls. So when the ball would land in the pool, he would know where the ball had landed. The few times that his daughter threw carelessly, I lined myself up between him and the ball and said, "Just follow my voice," and he was able to get his hands on the ball pretty quickly. The conversation we had was really special. He told me about becoming blind as an adult, and I told him some of my own story, and it really encouraged him. I ran into him a few weeks later when his daughter was at the pool for her swimming lesson. I drove up to him in my wheelchair and said to him, "Do you remember my voice? We talked a few weeks ago." And he had, and we had that same connection and had a really pleasant discussion. Why I'm making this video is just to remind you that the people who don't have sight are still people. They may have a special set of needs, like I have a special set of needs with my mobility challenges, but they're just ordinary people, and I want to encourage you not to discriminate against them. If you feel uncomfortable with someone who doesn't have sight, asking if there's anything you could do for them is honestly an appropriate question in my mind to ask. Similar to how people come up to me and sometimes feel awkward, but if they're willing to help, they ask an open-ended question. And if I'm needing something in that moment, I ask for it that's reasonable, like reaching on a shelf, for example. It was really wonderful to see this man being out with his young daughter. It was just priceless watching them play together in the pool. One of the things that I've struggled with different times is with my physical disability, raising children would be different than what other families do. I remember back, probably 8 years ago, I was at a big box store using one of the store power carts, and a man drove up to me using the other store power cart and asked me how I was doing, and I talked to him for a few minutes. And while I was talking to him, I realized that his right arm and right leg were both artificial. I asked him what had happened, and he had a freak train accident, losing the two limbs. His wife had saw that I was deep in thought and took their young child and occupied him for a few minutes. And I asked him more about raising the young child, and his response was that the wheelchair's cool to the child, and his child was completely okay with the artificial limbs. So I'm also sharing this, just it's around the same topic. You can still have relationships in your life and do maybe not everything that you see people doing, but if you have the will to do something, I bet you more than not people in the community would help you if it's at all possible, and you've shown the determination in your life to persevere and overcome what obstacles you have. Thanks so much for this time you spent with me today. I really appreciate it. Bye for now.